Hey, Crown Content Publications followers, viewers, and supporters. Thank you for tuning in to another segment with the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel once more. If you hear music in the background, we do not own rights to the instrumentals, but the saxophone is such a beautiful instrument. So we thought we would kind of, have it playing in the background as we go over part 2 of how self-publishers are saving money in 2022 and in general. Alright, so if you were able to tune in to part 1, it was about an hour long, and we more kind of just discussed how me as a publishing services coordinator have already had the personal one-on-one experience with people's stories, author stories who trusted publishing houses before they knew that they had the option to become self-publishers or entrepreneurs in the first place. So I thought I would come back because that first video probably sounds like I hate publishing houses or something. I even talked about a little bit of my experience with them and how, becoming a self-published author was just the best thing for me. And I also talked a little bit about why. See, every author doesn't just have I'm not going to say the money, because different publishing houses are going to look different. Some of them will pay you for your story, like we talked about in the first, pay you for the rights to even, distribute and market your book and things like this. But some of them do charge their prices, these publishing package fees we talked about on part 1. That is going to include the editing, formatting, distribution, printing, cover design, and things like that. So I guess I was going to just kind of, since Amazon KDB is pretty universal, I was going to discuss to y'all what, why self-publishers love Amazon today, what their how much less of a hassle it is to just kind of self-publish a book on there, which they do give you the option to put it in ebook form or hard copy or paperback, right? That's really fun. And a lot of people would ask, is Amazon free? You could say that in a way, but it's not free, because Amazon also is going to have their percentage that they take off of each sale for your book. So whether you work with a publishing company or not, what came to me today is that, there are costs. There are costs all the way around. Whether you're an entrepreneur, right, a writer who works for themselves, who pushes their book on their own, promotes and markets their book on their own, or you choose to go with a publishing house, or you use platforms like Amazon. I'm just going to use Amazon, for example, today, but the truth is there are many other, bookstore platforms, that allows you to do contracts with them to get your books in their bookstores. So it is what it is. If you want to learn more about Crown Content Publications while I'm on the subject, this is our YouTube channel. We do have a separate podcast show where we do the promoting and marketing of other entrepreneurs and small businesses. But another thing, when you visit my website, www.contentcrownpublications.com, you're going to find out that we offer a list of publication services, even marketing tools, marketing packages, publication services, consultations to help you come up with marketing plans if you want to be an independent author. And we also offer separate business consultation services that might help you with bookkeeping or just organizing your work as an author altogether when it comes to the business side. This is not that type of segment, but maybe you're new to my channel. This is not the type of segment where I'll be marketing my services per se. But segments like these, when it comes to how publishers are saving money, does kind of tie into what I do, because my job is to help the freelancer, to help the entrepreneur, to help the independent writer. Okay, and in our world as authors, we call them, like I said, entrepreneurs, indies, things like that, because your work is a little more cut out for you. It's a lot more work when you're doing these things on your own to push your own work, to push your own name as an author, to push your own work. But it's totally doable. Okay, so we talked about that already on the first segment, but this is part 2. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe. Maybe check out part 1 right after this video, or check out part 1 first and then come back to this one, so you can see how it ties together. But we're definitely about to use Amazon KDP, for example. And don't worry, guys, I'm also pretty much a client. Not just a client and an author that uses Amazon KDP for some of my ebooks, but I'm also a customer of other authors' books, like ebooks I've ordered off of Amazon. So I just I feel like I'm a good candidate to talk about how publishing a book with them is going to look. So I hope you guys are ready. And so, yes, I hope I made that clear, like, because on the first one you kind of hear, it will sound like, oh my gosh, she's downing publishing houses. She's downing taking that route for an author. She's downing publishing houses altogether. That's not what this segment was for. It was just kind of for those that might not know their options in 2022. Or like I talked about in part 1, a lot of people already have books. The second part of authoring, regardless of which, after you finish that book, is going to be promoting it. It's going to be marketing. Unless you just wrote it for fun, or if you're really trying to get a message out, which is sometimes the point of authors' books, or if you're really trying to get your talent out as a writer, then yes, you will want to know this side of the business. You will, at some point, as you weigh your options, make it to the point where you call Crown Content Publications and say, look, explain this to me, one-on-one. I saw your YouTube segment, but I'd like to know like a more detailed, kind of like informational interview type of deal when it comes to the best option for myself as an author and how I can save money. Okay, so I have my whiteboard here again. Y'all know I'm starting to love kind of like showing you guys my ideas from right here. Okay, so don't worry, there's quite a bit on here right now, but as I talk this time, as I explain things, I'm going to just kind of like reference to the board because it helps me keep up with my notes. And y'all know on other segments I kind of have it hanging behind me like this or whatever, but we will get it worked out to where it's a little bigger and you guys can see it, and it's just going to be beautiful because I have a lot to share with writers that are looking to grow and that are trying to become more independent because they've already been through things like going the publishing house route and it didn't work for them, and maybe they didn't try the option of pushing their book on their own. Okay, so I said I was going to use Amazon KDP because, like I said, guys, they're just a more universal, let me put this down for a second. They're more universal, like just about everybody knows about them. But you have Audible books, you have Barnes and Nobles, you have all these different platforms that do allow authors to independently share their books on their platforms. And a lot of people might not know this. I've been kind of slowly putting it out there, not just on my YouTube channel, but on the platforms that Crown Content Publications markets on. But we're going to be opening our own online bookstore platform soon. And what I would like to do, you guys call me for consultations for more details. But what it is when I break down like how these other bookstores are already doing it, I think you'll get an understanding better of how we're trying to help authors when it comes to better consignment packages during the pandemic. Okay, what's a consignment package? We talked about this on part 1. This is going to be what the bookstore charges, right? What percentage they're taking off of each book sale. Okay, because see, when you pay a publishing house, that's practically what you're paying them to do. Get those commercials going, get those book trailers going, just practically all the marketing and pushing of your book. But you can do that on your own. Okay, we talked about that on another segment, what having a list of bookstores is going to look like for you to call, finding out what genres each bookstore accepts, and most bookstores are pretty open to the genres they accept and the authors that they work with. So Crown Publishing Content is about to be a part of that movement. We're not the first bookstore to exist, but we will be another platform option for authors to think about when it comes to them looking for sales, more book sales, more website traffic increase, you know what I mean? More promotion as an author, as a writer altogether. So we're excited to share that with you. Boom, back to the Amazon KDP topic. Amazon KDP. If you talk to any self-published author out here, this is probably where they started. This is probably where they have made a lot of sales already. And I wrote down some reasons why they usually are probably like a first top 5 choice for self-published authors. When you work with Amazon, guys, this is they're when it comes to distribution and printing, which is 1 and 2 right here. That's something that already comes with joining their platform. You're gonna have the option of putting that in ebook form. I guess, like I said, for free until somebody wants to actually order that book, and then boom, that's when they're going to take their 30% or 70% from there, or their 35%, however that's going to go. But something like the formatting of your book is going to be more of the author's job. The editing, that manuscript is already going to need to be edited. They will catch like some grammatical errors for you. This is like a real thing that comes with their platform when you begin to upload your work. But the more you have edited and formatted, what is formatting for those who don't really understand? Like I say, writing your book is the first step. You're going to need to type it up professionally, use the best software possible. We'll do that on another segment, like some of the best software to use when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, actually typing that book and formatting it. This is going to look like table of contents. This is going to look like page numbers. This is going to look like subheadings and chapter titles and stuff like that. Every book is going to be different. So you kind of want to have these two already kind of worked out. But as far as like we just talked about, the distribution and printing, that's already automatically going to come with a platform like Amazon. When you call Crown Content Publications for our bookstore, though, you're gonna practically need we're gonna help with distribution and printing, okay? But at the same time, we're more looking for authors that are already published authors, and then it's gonna be a bonus because Amazon can't say that they help you with publication services. They just can't say that. I don't know how better else to put it. You know, you can bring your work all day long, because we haven't talked about the next thing I have here, your cover design. But this is something else it allows you to do, upload that cover. Like I said, is it free? Yeah, in the moment that you're actually getting the book on there, it is free. But at the same time, it's not, because you're practically going to you're going to be signing a contract practically and agreeing to certain terms and conditions, so that when somebody buys or orders a copy of your ebook or your hard copy, they will automatically take their percentages out of there. So practically distribution and printing is not free, but people like Amazon, because it's like less hassle for them, they automatically do that work for you. And if somebody orders it, when they put that shipping address on there, it automatically sends it to them. It's going to bind the pages. It gives the author the choice of what type of pages they want, cream, or the type of book covers they want, glossy, the sizes of the book and things like this, the dimensions, I guess I should say. But everything else, as far as the inside of the book, that's where your formatting is going to come in at. What the inside of that book, however you upload it to Amazon, is how it's going to come out when they're reading it as an ebook, okay? And that's why I do mention on many of my segments, like, look guys, for example, The Power of No is an unedited version on Amazon right now that I did, that I did. If I know that I have the gift or the skill to format, then I know at any time I can go back and format, like there might be page numbers on there and stuff like that, but maybe I want it to look a little more professional, but it was the message in that book I was trying to hurry up and put out. because I may have other things going behind the scenes, which we're about to talk about in a minute. How clicks and views, I even have it right here on the board. Where is it? Here it is. It's on this side. Clicks and views. Y'all see that? I'm finna talk about that in a minute, because it can be on Amazon all day long, but what are you doing outside of the Amazon platform to get people to go click on that book? To get people to view so many pages? Because some people will get like 5 pages into a book and find out they're not interested, you know? One thing about Amazon KDP too is anybody who subscribes to this app, you know, because a subscription is going to look like you paying a certain amount of money every month to get unlimited reads for you to have access to any book on there. See, if it's 1 million authors on there and 1 million books, why should somebody click on yours? Regardless, they're paying $5.99, $8.99 a month to Amazon, right? They're paying them anyway just to have access to all these books. But as an author, what are you doing outside of Amazon to get people to click on those books? Well, with my experience, and we all got to start somewhere, I just knew that I wanted to try and attempt the route of self-publisher, of independent author. And it just wasn't enough. I'm finna explain something, but me reposting the link, pasting the link on my little social media pages most definitely wasn't enough to make people go click on it. Outside of the nosy people that probably just wanted to see if it was real and was I really trying to become an author, that was it. They would go on there, oh, okay, this really is on Amazon. But other than that, am I doing enough to get these people to leave a review? Am I doing enough to get these people to even order it or subscribe to Amazon KDP? Because when you don't subscribe, and let's just say you go to Amazon.com, regular Amazon, where you would shop, and you type in The Power of No, my book, it's going to pop up, but it's going to pop up for a price. And I'm about to talk about this. It's going to pop up for $5. But what y'all don't know is maybe I only see $1.35 out of that whole $5. This is what I want independent authors to think about. And some of you guys already know this, but this segment is for people who don't, okay? So anyways, the reason that's going to look that way is before I even push, like, submit, you know what I mean? Submit, I want my book on here. I'm cool with the royalties I'm going to receive. Amazon is going to explain how they work if that's the platform, if that's one of the platforms you're going to use to upload that book on. So that's something I agreed with. I said, okay, if I'm going to set it for $5 because it's only 25 pages long, that's something else. Like they might give you like an advisory of what you know, kind of like advice, like, hey, charge this much, depending on the word count and the page number, but really you can set that price for what you do. I just want beginning, entry-level authors who are looking at the option of self-publishing to understand that there are other costs that's going to come with, regardless if you go to a publishing house, regardless if you come to Crown Content Publications, my small publication services business, or you work with Amazon or Barnes and Noble. Every company has their costs because remember me saying they handle the distribution and printing? How do you think they're doing it? Well, off of those $5 sales, somebody got to go behind the scenes and print the whole 25 pages, and because somebody just came to order my book. Am I going to be paying that out of pocket every time somebody want a book? No. Amazon is willing to do that part for you. That's why they do have 1 million authors on there. But these authors don't tell y'all all the time, like, look, I only make 35% of that price, y'all. Y'all be out here complaining like, her book $15.99, $12.99, why he charging that much? You didn't know that though. They have to practically you paying them to use a platform because they're taking, like I said, 35 with Amazon KDP specifically, 30%, 35%, or 70%. So now we're about to talk about how this works and why. So I love my coffee. I got to do coffee through these segments. Okay, so down here. If you price your book at $2.99 through $9.99 or less, you are going to get to keep 70% of your royalties. Okay, I'm finna break everything down though, because it's going to differ if it's an ebook or a paperback too. Some of my books do have the paperback or hard copy option. Some of the other books are only ebook, so that royalty might look different. I know that makes sense. I'm just breaking it down. And then y'all probably can't see this, but if your book is anywhere from 1 cent to $2.98, which is just a cent under the $2.99 we just talked about, which allows you to keep 70% royalty off of their sale. So who's the other 30% going to? Amazon. Okay, but anyways, if it's 1 cent to $2.98, you're going to keep 35% of the royalties. And a lot of people say that part is not worth it. You know, you kind of have to get your own experience to see what you think it's worth or not, because only you know the work you put into your book, even as an independent author. There are other platforms just like Amazon KDP. I can't say just like, but yeah, they work similar. All they want is a percentage rate off of each sale, and you can use their platform. What is Crown Content Publication saying? You can call us and be an author on our platform. But I can tell you right now, because we understand stuff, sales chain strategies that Amazon and people like them use, we do have more, I feel like, not just comparable, but competitive pricing, consignment fee pricing. You know, we want our artists to keep, forget the 70%, 30%, we want you to keep as close to as much as what you were trying to sell that book for as possible in your pocket off of every book sale. What if I told you that? It's true. Hey, when you visit my website, www.contentcrownpublications.com, it's going to have a little box where it says book a consultation or get a consultation. Do that so I can explain what I mean on that part more. That's the only way I can really say that. I can explain it more, but I said that much. Now your next question could be, how in the world can she save me more money than I'm saving? I mean, can she make me more money? Like, how can she offer me to keep more of the book sale price in my pocket than she's keeping? Because anybody that's already used Amazon KDP knows, you know, they're gonna take their cut. Even 30%, maybe Crown Content Publications is talking less. Maybe that's what I mean. Maybe I mean 10%, 5%. You know what I mean? But you don't know that until you call me. What I can tell you is the more platforms an author has their book on, even if you're allowing a publishing company to do it, because they're still going to keep their cut off of that work you're making them do. But the less percentage the publisher is willing to take, and really we're not the publisher, but we would be the bookstore platform, another bookstore platform you can use. You can keep your book on Amazon, but why not have your book on 10 different platforms, which some authors are already on that level, 10 or more, so that, you know, you just kind of got some residual income you can depend on. You know, you're not just using one platform. You're not just marketing once a week. Now you got your book on 15, 20 different platforms, and you never know who's going to order a book, okay? But we're just saying, if you do talk to us about, you know what I'm saying, possibly marketing your book on our online bookstore, you will keep more of your book sales prices, but you got to book a consultation to find out how, okay? I know y'all want me to say an exact percentage rate I'm going to do or how my packages are going to look, but I have strategized some packages for you guys, because I've already met authors who say, look, I have four novels, but I have 3 children's books. What if I want all 7 in your store? For an author like that, I would do nothing less than offer him a good package or her a good package, because they number one, they don't need any of my publishing services. Their book is already their books are already published. They already have copyright and ownership to their books. I would just want to help you get that book in my bookstore and keep as much as your earnings as possible. I'm just trying to put it in a way that even a beginner can understand, okay? So hopefully y'all got that so far. I do offer publication services, but I do offer a whole platform for you to market this book on, which is the Crown Content Publications bookstore. Then we also offer promotion and marketing on our podcast show. So it's just like stuff you might want to book a consultation with me. If not soon, then in the near future, because this is just another platform you're adding to the platforms you're already with, like Amazon, for example, in hopes of selling more books, because that's what your goal should be. And then the average author is making 45 cents per page read, or per 100 page read. Y'all remember me saying sometimes it's cool if somebody subscribes, so they're practically getting to read your book for free or whatever, but how many pages do they even get through with your book? Because that happens with books, unfortunately. Like, people get, like I said, to page 5, page 7, and they're just like, I really don't like this book like I thought I did. So did you know, per page read, authors can still see their cut, but my bookstore is not going to be like that, of course. They're more like an ebook platform. Customers will be able to, authors can work with me, and put them in there, but customers will be able to order physical copies of this book is what I mean, and authors can see more of their earnings is all I mean when they call our bookstore. But I thought, going into detail and explaining a little more about how Amazon works for the author, for the average independent author, would help you guys kind of see and get more clarity about what I meant on part 1. It's not that I'm not telling you don't use Amazon or don't use a publishing house. I want you to know how they work and see what option is best for you. Or maybe some authors might say, yeah, I want to work with a publishing house over here for this book, a publishing house over here for this book. My 3rd book I'm going to push myself. My 4th book I'm going to push myself. My 5th book I'm going to push myself. Like, to me, somebody with that type of determination just might end up getting their name out here as an author. You know what I mean? Because they're not leaving slack or room, for these publishing houses to do all the work. They're also backing themselves up in case one of those publishing contracts don't turn out right, to where they can still be making income. I think the authors that I've talked to that felt like they were hurt because they were misled with a publishing contract, they were hurt because they didn't have any other options. They had already sold the rights over to these publishing houses. Different things happen. You've already given them this money and trusted them with this, and now they're saying they own it and you don't know why. I'm just trying to save people from going through that. And if you're going to go through it, yes, have a business attorney, have a literary agent, some people like this in a video chat interview with you when you talk to this publishing house before you sign anything. And like I said, you got people in the music industry who didn't do this. They didn't do this. They were just looking for a quick, get their name out, quick fame, and so they lost a lot of money. And they go back later and they end up fighting for rights and masters and things like this of things we know is clearly their work, but what contract route did they go? I put my board down so I can think about other things when it comes to Amazon KDP. Like, there's pros and cons to any route you do take. I will tell you that even the self-publishing route, you're only gonna see as much benefit as an independent author as you put in, if that makes sense. Like, there's no really right or wrong avenue to take when it comes to marketing yourself. Even if people telling you you're doing too much or you're doing too less, maybe sometimes it looks like you're doing too less because you're working on 5 other projects or however that goes. But just know, guys, Crown Content Publications does exist to help authors that are on that type of journey, even if they're children authors. Yeah, a lot of people were training our kids how to be entrepreneurs already. Why should that look any different with their book? If you're an adult author with children's book, just know Crown Publishing Content wants to support you. Well, that's the official name of the bookstore, but for my podcast and YouTube channels, we do use the Crown Content Publications name. But it's like, the more, that's what I meant. The more independent you are, guys, number one, you're cutting out all middleman prices and things. That's practically my goal in business. Like, the more middleman and contract people I have to pay and sign with, the better for me, because if that book does happen to elevate and go different levels in life, I'm the owner, I own the rights. I didn't sign a publishing contract with anybody, so the better for me, right? The more the book sells and the more of the, honor I'm going to be giving for that book, the more people I cut out of it. And I want authors to know they can think the same way. But when you start signing contracts and going with publishing houses, why not just self-publish your book and find stores like myself or my bookstore or mom and pop shop bookstores or larger level bookstores like we talked about, Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. And really there's millions more platforms, but I'm just using them for example because these are universal people that pretty much everybody has heard about or know. Why not just market them on those platforms where you have to, where you feel like you need to? Because like we already talked about that, all of those platforms are going to take their percentage, but it is like you got to get yourself out there too. They're only taking their percentage if you make a book sale. I hope I made that clear. That's why I say don't just jump into a publishing contract because it's not even promised that book is going to sell. It's not promised. You really have to write about something relevant. Y'all might not have thought Twilight was relevant, did you? But the fans of Twilight, the readers found it relevant. So whatever content that book enclosed, it was enough to make that book a bestseller, then later become a whole movie. You know what I mean? So we can definitely talk more if you guys book a consultation. I just thought I would come back on here and kind of clarify what self-publishing on actual platforms is going to look like. At the end of the day, everybody's taking their cut. That's how it goes. And even if you record a record or a playlist, everybody's taking their cut. The studio you had to pay, the ghostwriter who wrote the song, you know what I mean? The guy who did the soundtracks, I forgot what that part is called, but like the actual producing of the music, everybody takes their cost. This is how it looks in music. This is how it's going to look in the book industry. You know what I mean? And the more middleman you cut out, which is going to be hard work because that's more work for you to do. Now you're doing the editing. Now you're doing the formatting. Now you have to do all the book cover designing on your own, and that's going to be, it was on my board here, back of the book, spine, and front cover. When you open that book, what do you have? An introduction, a dedication? This is the formatting. How does this book look? After we turn every page, somebody's doing the work to make that book look like that, and it could be you. And if it is you, you're saving yourself from having to pay other people money to do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just know Crown Content Publications exists for that too. We offer publication services. Because maybe you can see yourself saying, look, I got 2 books. Let me go ahead and put these in your bookstore. But I do have a new book idea too. Can you go ahead and help me publish this book as an independent author? I would say yes ma'am, yes sir. Or if it's your child, yes ma'am, yes sir. We can help that child with their children's story or the novel that they're trying to do. The one thing we're not looking for is royalties, rights, a cut off of their work. We're more paying you for the consignment fee, like for actually getting the book in the store. And once you pay that, even if you're paying it on a payment plan, Your book is in a store, you're keeping almost 100%. Y'all thought 70% was almost 100. No, we got something better. All you got to do is contact me, www.contentcrownpublications.com. We're publishing and marketing me. I will also leave the link to the podcast show, which is separate, guys, because what happens is we have entrepreneurs on there that we interview that offer a variety of services, not just book services, because there might be other things you can use in your life, like a mechanic, like a beautician. You know, we interview and cover interviews with entrepreneurs weekly. So you do want to kind of download, subscribe, become a regular listener on our podcast show, okay? So I'm going to leave the link in the description section. And for now, that's all I got. I just wanted to get that point across for anybody out there that probably didn't really fully understand that part. There's nothing wrong with your book being $5 and you only making $1.35, but are you willing to go through that? And is that the best option for you? What do I mean by the best option? Were you just trying to get your name out there? Were you just trying to get your skill out there because you're a beginning writer? Well, it wasn't pretty much so much about the money, because you could take that same story because you're the owner, because you're an independent artist, and publish it on other platforms that may pay you more. You can start your own platform. You know, you need an Author web page anyway, an Author website where people can read about who you are. You need that type of stuff anyway. So, you always want to keep your options open as far as where you're selling the book. But this is the only thing going to be that sells that book. You're either paying a publishing house these publishing package prices to get it done, or you're going to put the work in yourself. Thank you guys for tuning in to another segment with the Crown Content Publication Services YouTube channel. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe. And do remember, if you happen to order any of the ebooks by Arthur Tedasheri W, myself, if you screenshot your order and email it to crowncontentpublications@aol.com, you will receive a free complimentary Crown Content Publishing bookmark from us, just as a special thanks. And you can use this bookmark in other books, because you can't use it on the ebook, of course, but it's just a small token and a way that you can show your support when people see the bookmark and ask you, who's that? You tell them Crown Publishing Content. We like what they do. We like the tips they give authors, and we like what they do in real life for authors. So we thank you guys for your support. When I get to 100 subscribers, I will be doing a raffle drawing. I'm going to open the comment section. You're going to comment your email, and that's going to enter you into my drawing, because somebody's going to be winning a free Crown Publishing Content t-shirt and coffee mug, okay? But y'all got to help me get to 100 subscribers. Until next time, thank you for your support.